That's very cool. All right, find sine if cotangent is equal to -2 and cosine is less than 0. All right, I can go ahead and do that. All right. 7. So I have find sine of theta. If cotangent is -2. And cosine of theta is less than 0. Okay, I'll cover that. How do you find x in the unit circle? I'm not really sure, Sarah Kate, what you are asking for. So maybe if you want to come back around, I'll try to see what I can answer for you on that. And then how do you find the angle to eliminate the xy term? Zainab, I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing your name. And again, last time I was going live, my throat was being up there, but but it seems like everything was going good, and then it seems like this now obviously talking so much seems like that is kind of come back. All right, let's see, anything else in rotation about the axis of equation? I gotcha. For as far as your conic sections, that's something actually I have not had the opportunity to teach, so it's just not something I would feel comfortable kind of going over. It's been actually way too long since I covered anything for that, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to kind of address anything from there, so I apologize for that. Do linear functions have asymptotes? Good question, Andrea. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about asymptotes, just the kind of way they come from. All right, and then how to count significant figures. I'm not really sure what else further. I'm not sure what else. I don't know as far as further analysis that I can help you out with that. And wow, there's a lot of questions you guys really get into. Oh man, okay. Let's go ahead and see if there's any other question you guys have. I'm more than happy to stay on. Arithmetic sequences. It's been a little too fine long the sum. I don't remember all my equations, so unfortunately I'm going to have to skip that. Sorry, Angela. It's just something I'd have to go ahead and take a look at, and I just want to kind of wrap it up. But maybe I'll just go ahead and end with these two questions unless anything else comes in from on there. I do appreciate you guys joining on. All right, let's go ahead and oh man. All right. How do you find their radius ratio? I don't know. I'd have to probably take a look at some of those two questions. So I'm just going to cover these two just because I know what to look at. Everything else, guys, feel free. Again, just a reminder, guys, I will be going live again on Tuesday and Thursday of this week, as well as doing my live open Q&A next week. So if there's a question you want me to kind of like look ahead, I don't really like to spend a lot of time, doing my thinking or trying to read through your questions. So therefore, during the live stream, so if you do have something specific or at least to the point that I can easily address, I'm more than happy to, kind of cover it. Sometimes for those that are a little bit more in depth or ones that I need to kind of think about, as long as you provide them onto community chat, I will at least respond to you and let you know either in that chat or on the live stream what I can do for you or what I cannot. But let's go ahead and wrap up question number 7, 8, and then we will kind of get prepared for our first couple weeks of doing some schooling away from actual school for those of you that are not going back to the classroom tomorrow. So the next one is cotangent theta equals -2, and therefore they want us to find sine. So the important thing I want you to recognize from this is, a couple things. First of all, cotangent of theta is a ratio, right? That is going to be the adjacent over the opposite side. So therefore we need to have a fraction. So therefore I'm going to have -2 over 1. So -2 is going to be my adjacent side and 1 is going to be my opposite side. right? That is the ratio of cotangent, where tangent is opposite over adjacent. So cotangent is adjacent over opposite. So I have some triangle. Now, again, it does say cosine of theta has to be less than 0. So I have my adjacent side is negative and my opposite side is a positive 1. Well, if cosine is negative, that means cosine has to be, the negative side has to be, it looks like this or like that, right? So here's my theta. Or it could be down here. Now, one of these triangles is correct and one of them is not going to work. Now, the opposite side here is 1. Well, the only one that works here is this one, right? Because down here would be negative 1. So you can see how they both have an adjacent side of negative 2, but the only opposite that makes sense to be a positive 1 would be up here, not down here. So therefore, I'm going to have a triangle that's in the second quadrant. Now, it doesn't really matter in this regard. But again, well, actually, it does matter because you don't really know if that negative is with the adjacent or with the opposite. It could have been switched either way. The important thing is to understand that cosine is less than 0, so it had to be either in that second or that third quadrant. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and use the Pythagorean theorem. So 1 squared plus negative 2 squared, and that's going to be 1 plus 4, so it's 5. And then take the square root. We've already kind of covered this. So this is going to be the square root of 5. And I did that just by doing the Pythagorean theorem in my head. So therefore, that's going to be the hypotenuse. And then the question is finding the sine. So now I can look at this triangle and say, okay, well, the sine of theta is going to equal 1 over the square root of 5. And again, you could also simplify that to the square root of 5 over 5 and kind of be done with it.